Cryptocurrency is literally exploding in Latin America right now. Could a bold new scheme in El Salvador to mine Bitcoin using energy drawn from an active volcano solve the nation's chronic poverty and silence crypto's pesky environmentalist critics? Join us today as we investigate how El Salvador is mining Bitcoin using volcanoes. El Salvador's government has announced plans to build a Bitcoin-themed city at the base of a volcano, where the token will be mined using geothermal power. And its plans to fund the new project with a new $500 million Bitcoin bond plan have been met with a mixed reaction from the crypto community. President Nayib Bukele stated that the new city would be circular in shape, similar to a coin. According to the BBC, the city will be built in the southeastern region of La Union, where it will be able to tap into the geothermal energy source of the Conchagua volcano. Bukele claimed that it would be a tax-free haven of sorts, with the only tax levy being a 10% VAT charge to pay for city construction and services. Further information on the matter was provided by Blockstream's chief strategy officer, Samson Moe, who tweeted a video of himself speaking at an event alongside Bukele, as well as detailed plans to Bloomberg and the Blockstream blog. Moe stated that the new bond, dubbed the Volcano Bond, would be converted to Bitcoin in part, with 50% of the bond fee going toward infrastructure and Bitcoin mining powered by geothermal energy. Investors will be locked into the bonds for at least 5 years, after which the government will start selling its Bitcoin holdings and pay an additional dividend to investors. Blockstream claims that its own models show that by the end of the 10th year of the bond, the annual percentage yield will be 146%, though this figure is based on Bitcoin price forecasts reaching $1 million in the next 5 years. Moe stated that the 5-year lockup was intended to increase Bitcoin scarcity and value by effectively removing $500 million worth of Bitcoin from the market for a half-decade period. Additional benefits such as permanent residency in El Salvador and expedited citizenship applications would be available to international investors. Moe also stated that El Salvador's coming digital securities laws would benefit the bond's cause, transforming the country into the financial center of the world and the Singapore of Latin America. On his blog, Moe stated that his company had been in talks with El Salvador for months, and we've put in a massive amount of effort in designing and modeling the bonds. The bond will be processed by Bitfinex and issued on the Liquid network, with new legislation expected to be passed in time for a 2022 launch. Moe stated that a minimum bond purchase of $100 would be accepted. Tour de Meester, the founder of Adamant Capital, wrote on Twitter about the creation of a melt-up run to Bitcoin dynamic. Bitcoin is the scarcest asset on the planet, so the first issuers of these bonds will be able to buy a lot more Bitcoin than later issuers. This creates a melt-up run to Bitcoin dynamic. The Bitcoin City project, according to Gandalf, is a speculative attack on every other city in the world. Some, on the other hand, cautioned. One Reddit user wrote, "Capital markets charge a high interest rate because El Salvador's debt is suspect. They're now trading on Bitfinex with an absurdly low level of interest. Unless the interest rate is significantly higher, you should avoid purchasing these bonds. Bitcoin bonds are a novel and intriguing concept. However, they should not be sold at 1/3 the yield of a dollar-denominated bond." Bukele is attempting to raise capital at a low cost by exploiting first volcano Bitcoin mined, says El Salvador's president. Nayib Bukele appears hell-bent on achieving Bitcoin firsts, this time announcing the first Bitcoin mined using volcanoes. For newcomers, yes, you hear that right, volcanoes. The concept of mining Bitcoin using the country's active volcanoes is not new. Following the country's adoption of the Bitcoin bill in June, Bukele announced plans for El Salvador to mine BTC, using geothermal energy from volcanoes, claiming that a state-owned company could provide mining facilities with affordable and green energy. Then just a couple of days, Bukele shared a short video that showed mining rigs going online at a geothermal power plant that harnesses volcano energy. Bukele did not explain how many machines were now online or how much electricity was being allocated to the BTC mining effort, but simply wrote that the project had taken its first steps toward becoming a volcano. US could hit El Salvador's Chivo Bitcoin wallet with sanctions. According to the human rights organization Cristosal, the US may impose sanctions on El Salvador's Chivo Bitcoin wallet. Tensions between Washington and San Salvador remain high, with relations between US President Joe Biden and El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele remaining strained. Navas claimed that the $30 worth of Bitcoin given to Chivo users as a golden hello had been abused in many cases, and that her own identity had been stolen by someone looking for a Bitcoin handout. According to ElSalvador.com, Recinos was also named as a director of Empresa Transmira de El Salvador, Sociedad Anónima de Capital Variable, ETESL, an electrical power firm that is listed as one of the owners of the Chivo wallet app and all of the government's Bitcoin's ATMs on September 16, 2020. And any action taken against the Chivo app in the United States could jeopardize the wallet's function as a remittance solution. Some 50 Chivo ATMs are now operational in the United States, where they are primarily used by Salvadorans living abroad to send tokens to family members back home. Milena Mayorga, El Salvador's ambassador to the United States, previously stated that over $32 million in remittances passed through the state wallet in November alone. Because the app operates in America using the infrastructure of US-based companies, any attempt to block the wallet in the US would be a death blow for Chivo. And, aside from remittances, there could be other issues, according to IT specialist Mario Gomez, who was quoted as saying that American firms involved in service provision for Chivo could also be forced to pull the plug. He said that providers like Amazon Web Services, which he claimed presumably provides services to Chivo, were likely to bend to Washington's will if sanctions were forthcoming. However, while Chivo comes with some benefits for its users, Salvadorans can use any other BTC wallet to store, send, and receive Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Till then, have fun to get more done.